Okay, we'll start again at the statues of the eponymi, the eponymous heroes of the 10 tribes. And if you watched last time, you'll know that, or you might just know anyway, that there should be 10 of them, but there are only 4. That's okay. Shout out to Hamish Cameron, my colleague, who pointed out after watching the last video that I didn't have to do it at night, and I didn't have to kill all these people, because there's this thing called the discovery mode, which actually has some quite nice little bits of information about the monuments here. But anyway, today we're going to look at the south side of the Agora, so still in the Agora, ancient marketplace, ancient town square of Athens. And I think this building is meant to be the Aeakeion, or, you know, there's a building on the side of the Agora that is now usually identified with the Aeakeion. You know, these things are never certain, and I think debates go back and forth, but there's an inscription, there's a passage of Herodotus, both of which seem to suggest that this is the Aeakeion. And I think in the 5th century, so, you know, when this is set, Peloponnesian War, this would have been a simple kind of precinct with a wall around it. I think the peristyle is a bit of a later feature, but that's okay. And so Aeakeion, it's sacred to a hero from the island of Aegina, which is south of Athens. Long time kind of enemy of Athens, later kind of absorbed into the Athenian Empire. Alright, let's go back out. So there's the Thalos that we talked about last time, and the old Bouleuterion, the old council chamber. And this, oops, sorry. This is the problem. You're concentrating on ancient archaeology. Gosh, I'm making myself very popular. Okay. Alright, this is the South Stoa, or as it's known, South Stoa 1, as it's known to the archaeologists. South Stoa 1, because there was a later building called South Stoa 2, as you might have guessed. And, you know, this is another Stoa, you know, it's a portico, it's a building with columns down one side, and there would have been a number of rooms in this, and the archaeologists have also identified one room in the South Stoa as it remains, as it is, that they think is a dining room. It has room for 7 couches, so they would have been dining, you know, reclining, as they often did in the ancient world, in a sort of symposium-style setup. And there's an inscription from 221/0, you know, 221/0 because the Athenian official dating system was kind of like it ran over 2 of our years, went from summer to summer. So there's an inscription from 221/0 that talks about the metronomi. The metronomi, who are they? Well, they're the people in charge of the official weights and measures. Because, why were there people in charge of the official weights and measures? Well, look out here. You have all of the wonderful stalls, you know, shopping. Because the Agora was a marketplace, as well as a sort of town square, because, you know, of course there are religious and civic buildings. But it's also a marketplace. There's lots of commercial activity going on. And there are official weights and measures that are in use to, you know, make sure that people are getting the amount that they pay for, and it's all sort of above board. And we've even found some of the official weights and measures. In fact, in the modern world, in modern day, if you went over there, you'd see the Stoa of Attalus. Correctly not put in this game because it's much later. It's Hellenistic. But that's where the modern museum is, and you can find the weights and measures in there. Anyway, so there were 7 metronomi, and there's room for exactly 7 couches in this dining hall. So people have made the suggestion that this is where the 7 officials in charge of the official weights and measures of the Agora would actually hang out and dine together. Okay, we can move on. And the next building, correctly, is this Fountainhouse, the Southeast Fountainhouse, as it's called in the archaeological plans. And it is a fountain house. Look, there's some water. It was a rectangular building like this. I'm not sure if that's exactly how it would have been set up, but pretty good. I mean, there's lots of statues here that they put up just to sort of fill the space, I think. And, you know, ancient cities would have had statues pretty brightly colored around the place. I don't know if there's any evidence for this particular statue, but anyway, that's fine. It's in the right spirit. And the last building is, yeah, the Mint. So yeah, there is a building there which we think is the Mint, and I think the evidence is mostly of the production of bronze coinage. I don't think we know where they produced the silver coinage, and of course, if you're familiar with the famous silver owl coins of Athens, you'll know that, or you know this, you'll know that most of the money in this period was silver in Athens. Of course, they got a big windfall in Aeakeion where they mined a lot of silver just in time for the Persian Wars. You can read about that in Herodotus. But yeah, there is evidence here for the production of bronze coinage. I think, you know, until well into the Hellenistic or Roman period. And yeah, these are you know, these are all buildings that would have been here at the end of the 5th century. I think this southeast Fountainhouse, I think even goes back to the 6th century BC, as does the Aeakeion, and this is a 5th century building. Okay, so I guess we'll just climb up onto this. A nice view of the Agora. There you go. Is the south side, and looking over there, that's the reconstruction of the courthouses. I think there with that sort of gateway, that's the prison. So that's what we'll do next. Cheers.